I'm going to be doing an update on our advertising campaigns today. I'm going to show you exactly how I go through and do some manual bid optimizations. For more advanced videos, you may want to check out our bulk sheet videos. But this is essentially what I do. So I come in, I'll move this over here so you can see all the ACOS, and I'll set the last date range for the last 7 days like thus. Then we can sort this by spend. I do typically try and focus on the highest spend campaigns as a main focal point. I do think that is the best use of time and optimization efforts. Scrolling to the right, you can see my average ACOS for the whole account is hovering around 55%. That is on the high side. And so I'm going to be trying to figure out, anything that's above 55%, that's where I'm going to want to focus. So we got a couple campaigns in the 100 percentiles right now, and it's possible that they were performing fine previously. So if we try and go the previous, 10 days prior to this, and I'll sort that like that, some of those same campaigns could have been under the ACOS thresholds, and different changes that we made in the last week may or may not be working out. But we're going to focus on the last 7 days to see if we can correct some of the action that we're experiencing and dive in and take a look. So first off, we got this Mario coffee mug, and I'm going to show you the actual product unit so you guys can see it, so you guys know what I'm working on and what I'm optimizing. So you can see Mario and Luigi and Bowser, and you can see the cups right here. People like the product. It's underperforming in terms of the number of sales. We had the movie that came out, so we're trying to take advantage of that. So we dive in, we can see, the ACOS is significantly higher on this particular SKU. So there's no doubt you'd want to just cancel that one out, right? So nobody likes the mushroom guy. That's basically what this says. So let me click into that one more time here. So if we're looking at the mushroom cup, this one does not do well, 3 times higher ACOS. So step one, cancel out that particular product. Sometimes it makes sense to have multiple units show up in an advertising campaign. Most of the time, it does not. Here's a case example of why it's a bad idea. And you can see right there, wasted ad spend just straight up. Now, if we go over to the targeting, though, we can see where it's focused. And this is an auto campaign, so you can see various differences here. Obviously, loose match doing the best, but the least amount of spend. Close match doing the next best here, and a little bit higher of a bid. Probably need to lower down the bid just in general. And then the next thing we want to do is look at the search terms. So in here, with search terms, it's all about trying to figure out, is there a trend where some of the money is going where it's not working? So an auto campaign like this, and trying to move my camera back over here, is going to pick up some words that need to be negated, right? So having just generic terms like tumbler, coffee travel mug, coffee tumbler, none of these are going to produce good results on a hyper-specific product like this. This is not going to be an ideal outcome, and some of these probably need to be negated. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some negations and look for things. So generic, not hot, not doing well. So we're going to go over, and sometimes, depending on whether Amazon enables it, there's sometimes a column where you can just negate it straight in the system. Not seeing that, so we're going to open up a second tab and run the negation manually like this by adding negative. And there you go. We already have one negative exact on coffee travel mug, which we can see show up right there. So that's a good thing. We're also going to add some additional negations, though. So we're going to add negation on tumbler like this with an exact match, coffee tumbler with an exact match as well, and save those into the system. Now, it's interesting that we see Mario Bros. Movie showing up here, and I kind of question that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to double check that one, and we're going to open up the data over the last 65 days and just check it. Sometimes you go back and unnegate something you've negated previously. We'll see what this shows. So last 65 days, let that filter in. And the other thing too, sometimes if you're not sure if you should negate something, you should always just type it into the search box like this. Type in Mario Bros. Movie. Now obviously we're going to see a bunch of Wii games and movie posters and stuff like that. So definitely kid-centric, probably not a good keyword for us based on what we're seeing here. But let's see what the data says. So not seeing the word even showing up in our filter report, so I don't know why it got negated. We'll try Mario Bros. And see what that shows. All right, so a little low on the spend there, not a whole lot going on. So we'll X out of that filter, and we're going to sort this again and by spend and see if we can find some other opportunities. So highest spend to least spend, there you go. And we're seeing it hit various different products, right? So this one actually did better at 77% ACOS compared to the rest of them. So we may keep that. It might go down. I don't know what this is, so we're going to click it, take a look at it. So it's a similar water bottle kind of angle. So it's topical at least, which would kind of make sense. And then let's click on this one as well. So similar, you got like your kid soft towels going on with that product. But overall, still super high ACOS. So no matter whether the product's good fit or not, if the ACOS doesn't cooperate, you're probably going to have to negate it. So we're going to go here, and just in case you didn't know, you can negate ASINs as well, just like that, and it's done. So that will make it so it doesn't show up on the product page as an ad. And add negation in there. Boom, add that one, done. And we'll keep going through the list. So Mario Cup still pretty sagging at 73%. What that tells me is this item is probably never going to perform in advertising. We're taking position 1 right there. This is what we're competing against. 55,000 review listing, not doing too so hot. But that's generally what we're looking at. So if after you go through these search terms and you're just scratching your head and you're saying, I don't know if I'm ever going to have a good ACOS on an auto campaign like this, you may decide to just pause the campaign. I think auto campaigns are inevitably going to be successful, but they require some negation work like we're doing today. This is an auto campaign where I would say it's in such bad shape, it may be actually viable to go ahead and pause it. So 132% ACOS. I'm not seeing a lot of opportunities here. What we may end up doing is just taking the ones with the lowest ACOS, like Mario Coffee Mug, which and then Super Mario Water Bottle, those kinds of keywords, and then sticking those into a new exact match campaign and then bailing on this campaign. So we're going to go back to the campaign manager. We're going to create a new campaign and grab our sponsored product, find our Mario Cup, and we're going to do a single 1-to-1. One single product, generally better idea. Keyword targeting. Enter the list, and we're going to go with a phrase match on that. And that one should be fine. We've got the 65 days of data. Mario Tumbler, probably another safe one. We'll add that one in. And then we're just going to hunt for other variations where we felt comfortable. So like the Mario Coffee Mug with the 23% was doing pretty good too. And we're gonna cap this out at 5 keywords. So we're gonna take the 5 best ones, lowest ACOS, most spend, and this one might be good. That one's kind of more of the dad angle, which is maybe why that one might work. And we'll advertise on that one as well. And I don't often mix sponsored keywords with ASINs, but I'm making an exception here because there's not a lot of data to go off of. And I do think Mario Coffee Mug or Cup tumbler, those sort of keywords might also be viable. So we've got coffee mug, coffee cup. Probably what I'm going to do here, all of those going to be phrase match and add it in like that. So this one right there with that ASIN, it's got such a low impression count, it's probably not even going to get anything based on what we're seeing there. And we'll hit launch campaign. Well, of course, we've got to name everything Mario phrase match. And then we got to set a campaign budget. I always forget to hit that button and launch campaign. All right, so we're going to axe this campaign. So we're going to go back to the campaign level. I prefer to pause it at the campaign level, not the ad group level, because then it's a little easier to see it on the snapshot. But you could technically do it at the ad group level as well. And so now we got too much data, so I'm going to go back to the last 7 days. Sort this by, let's filter this down a little bit. And we're going to sort this by spend. And then we're going to look for that high ACOS campaign again See where that went right there. So we're going to turn that one off. So this is an example. It's too high ACOS. Got to make a cut. All right, so we got another 164% ACOS. I'm going to go into the top worst examples, and then we've got one at 115%. So let's take a look at these. So this one is a display ad, and similar to advertised product ad. We've got 200,000 impressions. We're going for page visits on this one. So it's not very often sponsored display is going to be in a good shape. NTB, by the way, that means new to brand. So these are going to be people who've never purchased from us before. And sometimes bigger brands really want to hyper focus on that, and that can be very beneficial. So let's dive into the ad group here and take a look. So this is going to be kind of an update on what we've tried to do in the past. I'm actually in a stock out situation on this ACE, and this actually just stocked out in the last 24 hours. Our soap manufacturer kept delaying our shipment just over and over and over again. We'll have that delivered actually tomorrow at our manufacturing plant, which is like, God bless. Hopefully that comes in pretty quick. So while that's out, though, it won't be running. However, and you can see like, boom, right there, stock let out. Let's see what the impressions look like. So it's still showing impressions despite the stock out. So this would be a good example of one I would pause, but I know I'm going to be back in stock like in 24 hours, so I'm going to leave it running despite that. It does say ineligible though. So the stock should be preventing the impressions even though we saw them. There could be a delay in data or change in the bidding methodology as well. We're going super low on the CPC. Let's go to the creative. Let's go back here. Should we, maybe changing it for conversions would help. We'll hit save on that and see if that makes a big difference. And then going to the creative, pretty solid. I kind of like the way this looks, the way it feels. I'm pretty happy with that. So the only change we're going to be making on this is going for conversion versus page visits, and then leaving this one alone. So we'll close that one out and call it a day on the display campaign. We'll check that one again in a week. All right, so in here, this one's going to be a different type. We've got the masculine again. This time we're bidding on Dr. Squatch, going for the competitor. 115% ACOS. It is very difficult to try and take out the behemoth, take out that number one competitor. But is there words that are working better than others, right? So interestingly enough, yes. However, most of the data is going to Squatch Soap Men and super high bid at 287. So I'm going to turn that keyword off, and it's possible that some of these other words will start getting more impressions based on that. Interestingly enough, we could probably lower the bid down here, and I'll go ahead and do that. I actually would be happy to pay 45% ACOS though, but we'll lower down the bid on those two and pausing that 129%. And this one might just be done as is. Those are broad match though, so let's go to the search terms and see if there's anything worth negating. Because it's possible that top keyword maybe is just hitting a particular phrase or a long tail keyword that's just socking our ACOS there. So we're going to hit this filter by spend. I really wish the spend button would filter automatically from top spend down. Wouldn't that be nice if they did that? So let's see if that filters out. I hate having to click this twice. It's like one of the worst UIs in the advertising console. Because nobody wants to see the small stuff. They want to see the big stuff. Put the big stuff at the top with one click. All right, nice. Now no data showing. Come on now. Give me the data. I know you can. All right, a little bit of fuzz on the UI here. So sorted up by spend, 481 on Squatch Soap for Men, 100% ACOS. 70% there, Dr. Squatch Soap. And this one was pretty much the same, those two keywords, but one doing 70%, the other one doing 300%. Why is that the case? What am I missing here? Oh, the word soap there. So that was the keyword, but the same search term in the end. That sometimes it's weird. Sometimes when you have a keyword that's hitting the same search term technically, but one does better than the other. So bewildering sometimes how that works. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how sometimes in the UI, it allows you to add the negatives right there. I don't know why it shows up sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. I honestly wish I knew how to get that enabled because it's really convenient in here. So like this one, I'd consider negating. But because of the confusion between these two keywords there, it's like, man, I'm not even sure. Then we have Dr. Squatch with the period versus the no period, and you see kind of some of the results with that. So this is a case where I think that the one change we made on the targeting, where we just looked at that one keyword right there and disabled that I think that these other keywords could do a lot better. Now this is a broader view at 65 days of data. And we were just making the change based on the last 7 days right here. So clearly bid was too high. We need to go lower bids. And we're doing a lot better on these right there. So this is a broad match modifier. You see that plus sign right there. But for whatever reason, that word not working out, we're going to disable that. Bid was also way too high. So bid, too difficult, pause it, done there. All right, so we took out 3 of our highest spend, probably just saved me an extra $500 in ad spend for the next 7 days by making some of these adjustments. That was just pissing to the wind, throwing it out, not doing well. So if we go down this list, looking at kind of the next things to look at, anything under 55%, we're going to ignore for now. We'll get to that later. Here's an auto campaign at 126%. Probably need some negations on this one. This is Halloween tumbler cup. So you can see that right here. And for whatever reason, we only have the 30 ounce in this one, which is not prime. And the 12 ounce is our big winner. So I wonder if just simply swapping out the product to get the prime badge, because we ran out of prime FBA on the 30 ounce, and just swapping in the small version would fix this. So we'll go ahead and do that and see if that can work to our advantage. So we'll add these two in. Boom. That's the only change we're going to make on this campaign and call it a day. All right. So as we continue down here, we fixed that one up. Although we may want to check before we exit that one out. We're going to go check the search terms, see if there's anything worth negating. No negations on this one yet. On the campaign level, let's check the ad group. Nothing there yet. So this one's due for some negations. Always want to be negating things once a week on auto campaigns. It is a little tedious, but it also is the fastest way to lower ACOS. So Starbucks cups, that one's never going to work for us. You can see there. And then, of course, the negations button is gone. Nice. Love it. So we'll ditch. We are getting a couple sales off this, but the high ACOS, definitely not what we want. So we're going to go negative. Let's go phrase on this. And we're going to get rid of the singular as well. And hit save. And we could also, the other thing we could do is we get over to Amazon right now and just type it in and see what's showing up. So this is what we were competing against and losing. So people really didn't want that. We do have an organic rank here at slot 5 there. Should be okay. We'll take the organic sales and call it a day. All right. So next thing we're going to do. So next one's at 105% ACOS. We've got some back to the soap bars. Let's click into the ad group, see what's going on here. So this is a sponsored brand. So we've hit a sponsored product a couple times. We've hit a display. This is going to be the first one on this video where we're hitting a sponsored brand. So we already have low bids. We're targeting specific ASINs. So let's see what that even looks like and type that in. So just to kind of refresh us. So we're trying to hit a competitor. Oops, went to the wrong one there. So far, no dice. So the search term report, interestingly enough, when we hit this ASIN, what's happening is somebody types this word in to the search. They then go to this ASIN, and then we see the data for that keyword show up here. So it's kind of an interesting, unique thing about how this can work when you're targeting ASINs, because they land on the ASIN, which is what you're targeting, but they searched a keyword. So if you find a trend here, you can figure out like which keywords won't lead to sales. So like the word natural soap, for whatever reason, is not going to work for us. So we could come in and add the keyword to exclude. Let's see, add negative product targets. Is it going to let us do that? It will not. So we can't actually negate the keyword. I forgot about that. But that gives you kind of an idea of what you can expect when you see this. So here is the choice. Do we keep going? Do we just lower the bid? That's kind of the situation we're in. So we're going to try and lower the bid quite a bit. This is going to really drastically reduce the campaign's impression counts. And you can kind of see like how it's done that, right? So we came out of the gate. We actually had a 4-to-1 ROAS on 9.2. And then after that, it's just been kind of crap. So we lowered the bid. We'll see if that makes a difference. Go down to the next campaign at 400%. Now we only have $130 in spend. So there may not be enough data, but we got to go check it out. Sometimes 7 days of data is enough, sometimes not. This one's going to be a sponsored product auto. So clearly having the auto campaigns with negations going to be one of the most important things you do. So looking at this Hogwarts one and looking at the search terms, $130 in spend, $30 in sales. This one is one of those examples where it's dead on arrival. There is nothing worth optimizing there. But just for curiosity's sake, let's see what the order came from. And it came off of a school crest. So it came off of this one like that, which I think mine's cooler than that. All right, so let's keep going. So we just ditched the one at 400% ACOS. Nothing even worth remotely trying to edit there. Just shut it off. 140% on this one, another exact Halloween Starbucks tumbler one. Really pushing those Halloween products right now. And again, we only have the 30 ounce in here, which I think is a mistake. We really have to have the smaller version. It's just going to perform a lot better. So I'm going to come in here and fix that one up and just simply swap out the product to see if it fixes the campaign. It can make a massive difference just having that Prime badge. But let's go to those search terms and see if there's anything worth negating nonetheless. And we'll expand this a little bit more. I always like to use bigger amounts of data on search terms. So mixed bag here. Sometimes certain words are working, other times not. So like Halloween cups, not so much. Let's change this back to 7 days and see if Halloween cups, nope, doing even worse in the last 7 days. So this would be a great case example where we want to add this as a negative, probably phrase, because it's not what people are looking for. Same thing with Halloween cup. And coffee cups, probably also not what people are looking for. Tumbler, I'm like, I don't really want to negate that, but let's go back last 65 days and see what the data looks like. So filtering that backwards, get a little bit bigger of a data set. So Halloween tumbler at 77%, even with the bigger data, it's like, dang, it's not doing as hot. Maybe that one just needs a little bit more data, though. Halloween tumbler with lid and straw. Surprisingly doing well on that. I have a lid, but no straw, ironically. Halloween coffee tumbler. And then some of the other data, just not enough spend to really make any other changes. So I think we're probably set here. Nothing else to action. So done on that one. Swapping out the products, added a couple negations, 140%. This one at 700%. Oh man, this might be a record. $100 in spend, 15 in sales. This is probably going to be another one of those like not even worth editing. So let's close out a few of these, clean up some of these tabs. And this one, we had 10 keywords. We paused a bunch of them already. Let's go last 7 days. It hasn't gotten any better. Let's look at the creative. This is a video campaign. So sometimes you get a little bit of crossover where people see the video and then they come back. But at 700% ACOS, I'm not feeling it. Definitely not feeling it. Let's go to the negatives. And you know, one of the things I don't like about sponsored videos, we don't get to see a search term report. So we're all exact match, so that won't even matter here. So I'm kind of thinking this one's dead. That one's not going to work. So we're going to pause that one out. and keep going down the list. So 50%, 50. We're trying to just stick to anything above 55%. We're trying to bring down the ACOS going into the next week. 100% on this one, 97 in spend. Exact match. We're in a sponsored product. Let's click into the ad group here. And we have a mix of soaps, and this one doing way better than the other ones. So let's look at 30 days. Let's see if that trend stays. It does not. So normally these two are doing just as good or better. So stocking issue may affect this one. Let's go to the search terms though and see what this looks like. And if there's any outliers, men's soap bar, where most of the spend is going, you see that right there. Oh, it's off my video. Let's pull the video over again. And we'll sort this from last 65 days and take a peek. Sort this by spend again. See if there's any trends on this data. So more often than not, I'd like to see single product campaigns. I think they're going to do better. In my case, with some stock out issues, a little more difficult. So gift sets for men, that one's not going to work. So we're going to add that as a negative phrase. You can see $20, 23 clicks, nothing. That's an easy call to make. Some of this other data, a little harder, a little more inconclusive. Sometimes you have to do some additional filtering. Or, you know, when you type, so like, for example, up here, you can type in men soap like this and then see like, oh, what's the summary on that term? And then could we make some conclusions, right? Obviously, you don't need to make anything different here. So we're good to go on this. That's all we needed to do here. The targeting we could also lower down the keyword bid potentially. Let's go back to the targeting just for a second. See if we need to do anything there. Yeah, so we're a little high. So we could pull that one down, down to like 88 cents and see if that does better for us. Whereas the men's bar soap at 31%, it's doing really good. That's actually really good. We actually want to raise that up. So sometimes when you have a good ACOS, you want to raise the bid so you get more impressions. It does better. 40 disabled that one, and that's good to go. So we actually added a negation for gift set for man as well, and then paused the exact match. So with exact match, it's not true exact match, which is why I still went to the search terms and checked it. They do have some exact match plus. They kind of expanded it. They made that change recently. I don't know if you guys noticed that. So do check your search term reports, even on the exact match campaigns. It's not as powerful as an auto or broad match campaign, but still structurally worth looking at. And as we go down the list, we've got a couple more really big ones to look at. 400% ACOS on this one. This is a phrase match going back to soaps. Let's click into the ad group. It's another sponsored brand. So my video ads just kind of goose egging it for me of late. Looking at targeting. Soap for women doing better. 60% ACOS. Handmade soap doing really good though. Let's look at the last 7 days. And no impressions going to handmade soap for whatever reason. It's all going to soap for women. So we're going to disable soap for women. That's not going to be a good keyword for us. But the other ones don't have a lot of data. We'll leave the rest alone. So go back. Actually, let me just think about this for a second. Let's look at the last 30 days. Let's see what else we got in here. So we disabled natural soap bar, but handmade soap doing okay. So hopefully the handmade soap does better. And what we really ought to do is probably raise this one. Almost at $13. Oof. Let's go to $1.30 and see if we can start to push that handmade soap video a little bit better. Okay, so that's going to help that one. That was a quick fix. 400% on this one. Let's see what this one looks like. And click into the ad group. And go to targeting. This looks familiar. Maybe I just double clicked on the same one by accident. Yeah, I think I did. 150% on another Halloween broad. Going back to the tumblers here. And we have what's called a broad match modifier. So that's why we see the plus signs here. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's not. It's kind of more of an advanced technique, honestly. No negatives yet. And 127% ACOS. So I'm going to pull down the bid. We're going to go all the way down to 0.55 and call it a day. We're going to change all of these bids down to 0.55. This is probably going to crush the impressions. It probably won't even get impressions at that point, and I'm okay with that. We're just trying to bring down ACOS wherever we can today. That's our mission. We got another one here. So let's close all these tabs to the right. Getting out of control with the tabs everywhere. Clicking another video. So video just underperforming. It's probably my video quality. It's probably not the fact that videos suck. It's probably just the fact that my videos stink. The videos need to be better. So natural soap, just not doing good for me everywhere we look. But natural soap bar, some of these other ones. So, I mean, the ACOS was down, cut in half, but still really not doing good. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably not going to work. The more I look at this one, I think it's kind of a dead one. So we're gonna crush that campaign, call it a day. 50%. So there is a video that did 50%. That's good. You guys want to see what's working with the video? We've done nothing but what's not working currently. And lots of you are watching this thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. Nothing Steven touches is working. Well, it's just because we're just focusing on the worst stuff right now and taking a peek. Burning sage, sage smudge, not so hot on those, but doing really great on white sage smudge sticks. So let's just put everything behind that. Not enough data technically to make some conclusions here. Let's go last 30 days. And re-unpause those. Those are fine, actually. Yep. Pretty happy with this. No adjustments probably needed here at all. This is a campaign that's performing well. Here's the creative. Does it let me play the video? No. I think this is the same video, though, where we just showcase it. This is all we're doing. So it's just a bunch of stock videos. All right, 136% on Exact Match Soap Bar. Let's take a look at this one. So we're pushing. This one should be doing way better than it is because we have this on like super sale right now. Can't get soaps for women to work anywhere I try it, ironically. Let's just pull down the bids. Sometimes the bid suggestions, all you got to do. So like click apply all, apply suggested bids. Honestly, that's perfect. Probably all we need to do here. Let's look at the search term report though, just in case. And no outliers. Okay, let's go next. 119% on the bar soap. Let's click into that. Go to targeting. So this is the case where we're trying to hit competitor products, not going so hot. I'm going to pull it down, pull the bids down, and just see, and that one's not even going to ever work. That one's not going to work, and kill that. And we've already lowered that down to 20 cents. So pretty good there. Hit save. Done with that one. Sponsored product targeting on ESIN level. All right, so a couple of 76s here. Want to try and get the highest worst case scenarios. So let's click them, see if they're quick changes. See what we're looking at here. Broad match on this one, specific to a particular scent. Interestingly enough, the skew, when it's not in FBA, does twice as worse. Here's case data. Targeting does really good on melon soap. So that's where we really need to focus. Let's bid that one up. That's doing really good. But on the generic, not so much. Pull down the generic down to like 0.88. And the word gift, not doing good anywhere we put it. So that's kind of an interesting data point. It's understanding what's not going to work anywhere on the account. Sometimes you want to do like an account level negation. Well, in my case, like gift and soap. Shouldn't have the word gift anywhere. It's kind of what we're learning. So in here, similar challenges to the last time we saw this. We're doing the competitor data. Just need to pull all these down. 0.55 on that one. Probably still not going to work even by pulling these down. That's the challenge when you're trying to acquire customers by advertising on your competitors' pages. Sometimes they goose egg. All right, we got a goose egg on a $41 spend campaign. I'm just going to cut that one off at the knees. Got some good campaigns in here too. Pepper in some 20% ACOS campaigns. How about that? But we're not looking at good things today. We're looking at bad. Cut the bad, lower the ACOS. Smudge sticks, mixed products. Let's click into this and take a peek. Oh, this is a 31%. How did I misclick the wrong one? This is the one I thought I was clicking on with 105% ACOS. So what happened? Why did it all of a sudden start stinking? Sometimes that happens. Not enough spend. Spend data is not enough to make conclusions here. But let's take a look at the targeting just in case. Maybe there needs to be a little tweak. See that 92 cent right there? Boom. Get that down to 31. I like the apply all button here today. It's doing some justice. Good to go on that one. Might fix it by next week. All right, so we've hit anything with above $30 in spend in the last 7 days, above 55% ACOS. And I would estimate we just lowered the spend on my account by about $900 to $1,000 or 10% of the current spend. That took us exactly 36 minutes and a lot of campaign pausing, a lot of campaign changes. But that is the mix of what you need to do to focus in and improve things. We covered a lot of basic principles. Mostly, though, we focused on negations and bid changes. That's like what you got to do as a PPC specialist. That is like your 80% of your job. Bid adjustments, negations. The other 20% of your job is almost entirely like new campaign creation, right? So if you're new to PPC, you should spend all of your time on those three things: campaign creation, negations, bid adjustments. Campaign creation, bid adjustments, negations, just over and over and over again. I do have some other PPC tips and information you might want to check out. Go to myamazonguy.com/PPC. You can check out my masterclass there. I have lots and lots of PPC questions we've answered. We've put them into the scroll for more tips thing right here, and you can check out those. Other PPC secrets and other AMA guides where we've had other PPC experts come on. You can check them out. All of the familiar faces you'll see here in the mix. We also have a PPC course over at Mag School, mag-school.com. Click on the PPC course. If you want to get certified, throw that on your LinkedIn. That might help you get hired or prove to your boss you know what you're doing. So they get off your back. Check that out as well. And if you want to hire us to manage your PPC, we'll put one of our experts on your account. We currently manage over 400 accounts, full service, including PPC, where we manage, keep your ACOS low, and grow your account. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. Thanks for watching my bid optimization video today.